I'm keeping my voice low because the footsteps are back. Slow, uncertain, almost like whoever's out there is trying to remember how walking works. Every few seconds, there's this tapping sound against the wood. Not a knock. Not exactly. More like someone dragging a finger across the grain and lifting it rhythmically, like they're sending a message I'm supposed to understand. I pressed my ear to the door a minute ago, and the tapping stopped instantly. That scared me more than the sound itself. Silence like that isn't normal. Not when it comes right after someone realizes you're listening. I wasn't supposed to tell anyone what happened. We all agreed to stay quiet. But I need this recorded somewhere. Even if it's just so one person out there can say, "Yeah, I heard something like that too," and I don't feel completely alone. If anything happens to me, at least you'll understand why I kept the lights off and why I'm breathing like I'm hiding from something that isn't supposed to exist in the first place. It all traces back to a stupid challenge online. A dare we laughed about when we clicked join. We shouldn't have. I know how that sounds. Every horror story starts with something dumb. But this wasn't supposed to follow me home. It wasn't supposed to know where my room is. It wasn't supposed to learn the way my hallway creaks or the pattern of my footsteps when I'm nervous. The tapping changed a few minutes ago. It got slower, like whoever's there got tired, or closer. I can't tell. Sometimes it feels like the sound is right against my ear, even though I'm 3 feet away. The air feels heavier with every second. My phone screen dimmed on its own, like the room is swallowing the light. I keep thinking about the moment the challenge first shifted, from a joke to something watching us. I swear I can hear breathing beneath the tapping. I shouldn't have opened that page. I shouldn't have listened to them. And now, hold on, they're back. The strange thinking back to how normal that night felt. The 4 of us were crowded into Malik's living room, half buried in blankets, the TV humming in the background while we argued about which terrible movie to put on. It was one of those evenings where nothing important is happening, but it still feels like a tiny escape from everything else. Malik kept tossing popcorn at us for no reason other than to be annoying, and Zara kept threatening to leave every time he hit her, even though she never actually moved from her seat. Ethan lounged on the beanbag like he was posing for a low-budget magazine cover, insisting he wasn't asleep even though his eyes were barely open. I remember thinking how rare it was for all of us to be in the same room without rushing somewhere or stressing about school or work. It felt like a pocket of calm, a little bubble where the worst thing that could happen was Malik choosing a movie with a 3% rating. We were making fun of the trailer when Zara suddenly muted the TV and asked if we'd heard about a rumor floating around online. She had that mischievous smile she gets whenever she knows she's about to interrupt the mood in the best possible way. "It's called the Black Index," she said, waving her phone like she was introducing a conspiracy. "Apparently it's this hidden puzzle thing. Dark web level. People say you have to find it, not just search it." Ethan cracked an eye open long enough to groan dramatically. "Why do you always bring up the weirdest sites? Last time you said you found a playlist that deletes itself after each listen." "It did," she insisted, pointing at him like that proved something. "And this is way cooler. It's like a scavenger hunt coded into random corners of the internet." I laughed it off. I think we all did. It sounded like one of those urban legends that lives in tech forums and Reddit threads, the kind meant to spook people at 2 in the morning when they're already scrolling too fast. But Zara kept talking, describing how the Black Index supposedly changes its puzzles for each person who tries to access it, pulling clues from your browsing history, your old usernames, even accounts you forgot existed. Malik joked that if it used his search history, the only puzzle would be figuring out why he had so many bookmarked recipes for sandwiches. The whole conversation was light and ridiculous, the kind where the laughter overlaps and no one bothers finishing a sentence because someone else already jumped in. Still, something about the name stuck with me. Maybe it was the way Zara lowered her voice when she mentioned the people who claimed the index noticed them back. Maybe it was how Ethan finally sat up, curious despite himself. Or maybe it was just the contrast, the feeling that this rumor didn't entirely belong in that warm, crowded living room. Looking back, that was the first shift. Small, quiet, easy to miss. We should have walked away when we saw the first warning. We weren't planning to look for anything. That's the part that always bothers me when I think back on it. We weren't hunting mysteries or digging through sketchy sites. We were just bored, sitting around Malik's living room with half-dead attention spans and nothing better to do. But Zara couldn't stop talking about the Black Index, and when she gets fixated on something, the rest of us usually get dragged along without realizing it. She curled up with her laptop, typing fast. Okay, she said, brushing her hair out of her face. Most of the threads are deleted, but there's this one forum still up, kind of old-school encryption stuff. She tilted the screen toward us, and the page looked like someone had built it inside a calculator. Blocky text, weird spacing, usernames that felt more like errors than names. Malik leaned in. This looks like the internet got stuck in 2004. Exactly, Zara said, which means whoever runs it doesn't want people finding it. I should have said no right then. I should have asked her to close the laptop and put the whole thing away. But curiosity always wins in groups, especially when no one wants to be the person who kills the vibe. So instead, I just watched as she clicked through thread after thread, most of them empty except for a single blinking cursor, like someone meant to type something and never did. Then a new post appeared at the top of the forum. It wasn't there a second earlier. The username was a long string of symbols, nothing pronounceable. The message was short, "You're late." We all froze. Zara hadn't typed anything. There was no refresh, no sound. Just suddenly, there it was. "Wait, what?" Ethan asked, sitting up straighter. Zara typed back a simple, "Who are you?" The reply came instantly, "You're late." "Maybe it's automated," Malik muttered, though even he didn't sound convinced. Zara pushed the hair behind her ear again, a nervous tick she only gets when she pretends she's calm. She typed, "We're just looking for information about the Black Index." Another instant reply, "Then follow instructions." I felt something crawl up my spine. There's a difference between spooky stories and something responding to you directly, like it was waiting. The room suddenly felt smaller, tighter. Even the TV, still paused on a frozen movie frame, looked like it was listening. "Maybe we should stop," I said. "This feels..." But before I could finish, a final message popped up, "Link unlocked," and under it a URL appeared. I won't repeat it, partly because I'm not supposed to, partly because I'm not sure it even exists anymore. I can't show the link here, but you've probably heard of the site. The kind people whisper about but never admit to visiting. The kind that feels wrong even when it's just text on a screen. A countdown timer materialized beside it, ticking down from 60 seconds. "Oh, come on," Malik said, grinning nervously. "This is clearly some elaborate prank. Like, escape room energy." Zara hovered her finger over the trackpad. "It says it's a live mystery challenge. Maybe this is the start." I felt a knot form in my stomach. Or maybe it's malware, or a scam, or literally anything else. But the timer kept dropping. 43, 42, 41. Ethan leaned forward. "We're never going to find this again if we don't click it. That's kind of the whole point, right? These things disappear." Zara gave me a look, half apology, half dare. Just a peek. I hated how easily the group's excitement overpowered my caution. It was like a wave pulling me forward even as I tried to step back. And maybe a small part of me wondered what would happen if we didn't click it. Whether we'd always wonder what we missed. 10 seconds. 9, 8. "We should stop," I said quietly, but my voice was swallowed by the countdown. 3, 2, 1. Zara clicked. The timer vanished. The forum vanished. Everything on the screen vanished. That's when the screen went black. When the screen finally lit back up, it wasn't the forum or the timer or anything even close to what we expected. It was a plain white page with a single line of text at the top. Stage 1. Memory. Under it, there was a box, just a blank input field, waiting for us to type something. No instructions, no hints, no timer this time. just the quiet, heavy feeling that something had shifted. Zara leaned closer. Okay, maybe it's like a riddle? Something simple. Malik shook his head slowly. Guys, this is weird. Who starts a challenge like this? Ethan rubbed his eyes. Everything about this is weird, man. The box blinked as if impatient, and then new text appeared beneath it. Use what you've forgotten. I felt a flicker of unease. Forgotten? Forgotten what? Zara, determined as ever, typed the word password. The box responded 3 seconds later with a red message. Incorrect. Malik laughed nervously. Well, at least it's not a virus that wipes your drive. But something didn't feel playful. Something felt intentional, like whatever we were interacting with wasn't running off pre-written scripts. More text appeared. Use what you have forgotten. The emphasis wasn't subtle. Okay, that's creepy, Malik said. Maybe it means a password you lost, Zara said. Or something from your old accounts. Something buried. Ethan groaned. I can't even remember what I had for lunch yesterday. We tried random guesses, old email names, song lyrics, dates that might matter. Every time, the red incorrect flashed like an accusation. I kept telling myself it had to be a game, a cleverly designed puzzle pulling from common tropes. But the room felt 10 degrees colder, and the silence outside the windows felt strangely attentive. Then the text changed again. I'll help you remember. A new window opened beneath the box. At first it showed nothing but static, the kind screensavers used to make when TVs lost signal. Then shapes started forming. Lines, colors, pixelated fragments slowly arranging themselves into something familiar. My stomach dropped. It was my old bedroom. Not the one I lived in now. My childhood room, down to the crooked poster of a band I hadn't listened to in years. A photo I didn't even know existed. Wait, I whispered. How would it have that? Zara looked at me sharply. Is that really yours? Yes, I said, barely breathing. But those pictures were on a phone I sold ages ago. Maybe someone backed them up, Malik offered. Or maybe it's stock photos that just look similar. It isn't stock, I snapped, louder than I meant to. That's my room. The static returned. New text appeared. Find the missing object. We studied the blurred image as it reformed. My bed, my desk, the old bookshelf. But something felt wrong. An empty spot on the desk caught my eye. My music player, I murmured. I used to keep it there. So type that, Ethan said. Maybe that's all it wants. I hesitated but typed music player. The box paused. For the first time, the reply wasn't immediate. The screen flickered. Then the word correct appeared, glowing faintly. Zara exhaled. Okay. Maybe it's just scraping old data somehow. Not great cybersecurity, but not supernatural. But her voice lacked conviction. A second window opened instantly. This time it wasn't my room. It was Malik's childhood kitchen, bright yellow paint, the fridge covered in magnets. A place none of us had ever seen except him. Malik stared at it, mouth half open. There's no way. I don't keep pictures like this anywhere. Do you recognize the missing thing? Ethan asked. Malik swallowed. Yeah, the clock. There used to be this ugly orange clock right above the sink. He typed clock. And again, the system responded with correct. A soft chime played from the speakers, too gentle for the atmosphere in the room. We solved 2 more puzzles. Zara's old backyard, Ethan's high school locker. Each one pulling something from a part of their lives they hadn't thought about in years. Every time a correct answer lit up, the room buzzed with a mixture of victory and fear. It felt impossible, but we were doing it, beating it, playing along with something that was clearly watching more closely than any program should. Then the final prompt appeared. Now use what binds you together. What does that mean? Zara murmured. Something about us as a group, I said. Something we share. We threw out ideas, our favorite movie, the cafe we always met at, the class where we'd first become friends. Everything was met with red, incorrect. The sense of being observed grew stronger, like whatever ran the challenge was waiting for us to realize something obvious. Then Ethan snapped his fingers. The drawing. What drawing? Malik asked. In 9th grade, Ethan said. We made that stupid doodle in the back of my notebook. The one we all signed. We hadn't thought about it in years. I didn't even know Ethan still remembered it. Zara typed the notebook drawing. Silence. Then, correct. A final chime. The screen dimmed to black. We all exchanged glances, half triumphant, half terrified. We'd solved something that felt impossible. Something that knew us better than we knew ourselves. The silence stretched. But then the live stream started. I wish I could say the challenge ended with the puzzles. But that was just the warm-up. When we solved the last clue, our screen didn't celebrate, didn't flash congrats, didn't even reload. The switch to a live stream. At first it looked like one of those low-quality CCTV feeds. A dim, empty room with a single chair in the center. The camera shook slightly, like it was mounted on an old stand or someone was holding it just outside the frame. Is this part of the challenge? Rishi whispered. Before any of us could answer, a door inside the live stream creaked open. A figure walked in slowly. Their face was covered with a plain, featureless mask. No eyes, no mouth, no markings. Just white. They turned toward the camera, tilted their head, and said our usernames. Not typed. Not displayed, spoken, out loud, one by one. The voice was distorted, like an old radio cutting in and out, but the names were unmistakable. My stomach dropped. Rishi muttered, "No way, no way, no way, no way," and backed away from the screen like it could reach through and grab him. I forced myself to stay calm. It's pre-recorded, I said. It has to be. Good editing, creepy idea. Nothing more. But in the corner of the screen, the live stream timer said live 0:02. It was counting up, not a recording. And the comments, there were hundreds of them, all flying past too fast to read. Except for one that stayed pinned at the top. Stop watching. Right under it, someone wrote, I watched this last year. Don't go further. They were banned immediately. The message vanished. The chat froze. Then another window appeared on our screen. A tiny square in the bottom right. A second live stream. At first, I didn't understand what I was looking at. The angle was weird. The lighting didn't match the CCTV room. It took a full 2 seconds before my brain processed the shape in the corner. A backpack. Rishi's backpack. The camera was showing our room. Live. The four of us went silent. Rishi spun around, scanning the walls. Where's the camera? Where? His voice cracked like he already knew he wouldn't find anything. Rishi spun around, scanning the walls. Where's the camera? Where? His voice cracked like he already knew he wouldn't find anything. The masked figure on the first live stream didn't move. Didn't speak again. It just watched. Arjun tried to close the window, but his cursor wouldn't move. It was like the mouse was frozen. Okay, I said, trying to breathe normally. This is just some browser hijack thing, right? Malware, spyware, something explainable. But even I didn't believe myself by that point. Because the second live stream, the one showing our room, suddenly zoomed in on me. Not on the group. Not the laptop. Just me. Someone typed in the live stream chat, "Do not make eye contact with the second camera." Before we could even react, the person who wrote it got banned too. That's when it hit me. Someone wasn't moderating the chat. Someone was moderating us. And then, a soft vibration in my pocket. My phone buzzed. Transition. At that moment, my phone buzzed. I'm keeping my voice low because the footsteps are back. Slow, uncertain, almost like whoever's out there is trying to remember how walking works. Every few seconds, there's this tapping sound against the wood. Not a knock. Not exactly. more like someone dragging a finger across the grain and lifting it rhythmically, like they're sending a message I'm supposed to understand. I pressed my ear to the door a minute ago, and the tapping stopped instantly. That scared me more than the sound itself. Silence like that isn't normal. Not when it comes right after someone realizes you're listening. I wasn't supposed to tell anyone what happened. We all agreed to stay quiet. But I need this recorded somewhere. Even if it's just so one person out there can say, "Yeah, I heard something like that too," and I don't feel completely alone. If anything happens to me, at least you'll understand why I kept the lights off and why I'm breathing like I'm hiding from something that isn't supposed to exist in the first place. It all traces back to a stupid challenge online. A dare we laughed about when we clicked join. We shouldn't have. I know how that sounds. Every horror story starts with something dumb. But this wasn't supposed to follow me home. It wasn't supposed to know where my room is. It wasn't supposed to learn the way my hallway creaks or the pattern of my footsteps when I'm nervous. The tapping changed a few minutes ago. It got slower, like whoever's there got tired, or closer. You can't tell. Sometimes it feels like the sound is right against my ear, even though I'm 3 feet away. The air feels heavier with every second. My phone screen dimmed on its own, like the room is swallowing the light. I keep thinking about the moment the challenge first shifted, from a joke to something watching us. I swear I can hear breathing beneath the tapping. I shouldn't have opened that page. I shouldn't have listened to them. And now, hold on, they're back. Arjun rubbed his face. If it's a game, it's way too specific. How does it know where we go? What schedules we have? Data scraping? I suggested. Leaked info? Algorithms? Honestly, I was throwing out words hoping one of them made me sound smarter and less terrified. Rishi stood up. Let's vote. Stay or leave. We all hesitated. We should have chosen to back out. Any sane group would have. But when you're tired, curious, overconfident, and maybe just a little stupid, chaos starts looking fun. I sighed. Fine. One more stage. But if anything crosses the line... Bro, Rishi said, cracking the smallest smile. We passed the line 2 rules ago. The truth is, a part of all of us felt something strange, something bigger than a simple prank. An organization, project, a group watching more than just our screens. There was a pattern behind everything, too precise to be random, too personal to be coincidence. And when humans smell a conspiracy, our brains don't run away. They lean in. The screen flickered once, just for a second. Arjun stepped back. Did anyone else see? I nodded, too quickly. And just as I opened my mouth to speak, the text on the screen glitched, rewrote itself, and displayed a single line. The first rule broke itself. Transition. The first rule broke itself. We thought shutting the laptop would end everything. But the rules didn't care whether we were logged in or not. The first sign came that same night. I was brushing my teeth when the bathroom light flickered. Once, twice, slow and deliberate, like someone tapping a finger on the switch. I froze. Rule 3 flashed through my mind even though I wasn't in the game anymore. If the lights flicker, stay still. I held my breath, staring at the mirror, half expecting something to move behind me. Nothing happened. But when I went back to my room, my TV was on. Volume muted. Screen black except for one line. You took too long. I yanked the plug out of the wall. The screen stayed on for a full second after, long enough for the message to shift into something else, something colder. You are still in. The next morning, I woke up to notifications I never subscribed to. My phone had screenshots, photos of messages I didn't remember receiving. Every one of them was a simple phrase like a breadcrumb trail. Rules remain active. Compliance is verified. Stop deleting. But here's the part that rattled me the most. I tried showing them to the group chat. They were gone. Not deleted, gone, like they'd never existed. No logs, no thumbnails, nothing in recently deleted. It was like the phone had overwritten itself just to erase the evidence. I told the others. They all claimed the same thing. Strange alerts, messages disappearing, an unfamiliar icon blinking on their screens but vanishing when they tried to tap it. That evening, Rishi called me in a panic. "Bro, check your smart speaker." "Why?" "Just check it." I walked into the living room, and before I even said the wake word, the speaker lit up by itself. Blue ring, silent room, no command. Then a voice, not robotic, not human. Flat, filtered, almost glitched. "You left the stream too early." My skin crawled. "Did yours say something?" "Not exactly," Rishi replied. "Mine repeated my username, over and over, like it was practicing." Arjun texted a minute later, "Check Instagram." I opened the app to see 3 new followers, accounts with no posts, no profile pictures, usernames made of random numbers. I clicked the first one. It was following only 5 people. All 5 were us. The second, same 5. The third, just me. When I tried to block them, the app froze and crashed. When it reopened, the accounts were gone like they'd never been there at all. If anyone knows how that's possible, I muttered to myself, "Please, seriously tell me." We tried to convince ourselves these were coincidences. Algorithms messing up, devices glitching, paranoia exaggerating everything. But the more we tried to ignore it, the more personal it got. My email inbox suddenly filled with password reset requests. Arjun's TV switched channels by itself. Rishi's laptop camera light blinked for a split second when he wasn't touching anything. None of it hurt us. None of it crossed the line into danger. But each event chipped away at whatever sense of safety we had left. By the 3rd day, we weren't sleeping much. Every buzz, every notification, every movement in the corner of our screens felt like another rule being enforced by something we hadn't agreed to. Something that didn't care whether we wanted out. That's when I sent the message that changed everything. "We need to talk. In person." Everyone replied instantly, without hesitation, like we were all thinking the same thing but waiting for someone else to say it. We couldn't handle this alone anymore. Transition. We decided to meet in person to figure this out. We picked the cafe because it was bright, crowded, and loud enough that our paranoia felt stupid the moment we walked in. For the first time in days, it felt like maybe we were overreacting. Maybe this whole "the game followed us" thing was just a string of coincidences that got inside our heads. Rishi arrived first, tapping his foot so fast the table shook. Arjun came in with dark circles and a huge iced coffee he didn't touch. When I slid into the booth, they both leaned in like they were afraid of being overheard. "So," Arjun said quietly, "is everyone still getting notifications?" Rishi snorted. "Bro, my smart TV called me by my username." I nodded. "Mine said I didn't finish viewing." Whatever that means. We tried to laugh about it, but the sound died quickly. Every time someone walked past the window, Arjun flinched. Every time the espresso machine hissed, Rishi checked his phone. I kept glancing at the front door like I expected someone to walk in holding a sign with our usernames on it. We weren't doing well. At some point, Rishi pulled out his phone to show us a blurred screenshot he swore had appeared in his gallery. But before he could open it, he froze. His eyes drifted past me toward the window. "Don't look right away," he whispered. "Just when you can check outside." My stomach tightened. I waited 2 seconds, then turned casually. At least I tried to look casual. Someone was standing across the street. Not moving, not talking, just facing the window directly. From the distance, I couldn't see their face. Their hoodie was pulled low, hands at their sides, body completely still. Not like someone waiting for a ride. More like someone who'd been standing there long before we arrived. Watching. I tried to rationalize it. Probably just a random person. Probably waiting for a bus. Probably nothing. But then the person lifted their head slightly. Not enough to reveal anything. Just enough to show they knew we were looking back. "I'm going out there," Arjun said, already sliding out of the booth. "Wait." I grabbed his sleeve, but he shook me off. We need to know if that's just some dude or whatever else. We followed him outside, the cafe door chiming behind us. The moment the cold air hit my face, I felt it. That heavy pressure, that same sensation from my room the night the footsteps started. We stepped onto the sidewalk. The figure was gone. No footsteps, no corner turned, just vanished. Rishi pulled out his phone and recorded the empty spot out of instinct. But when he checked the video, he swore the screen glitched, like static fuzzed over one exact area, the place where the figure had been. Arjun recorded too. Same distortion. When I tried, my camera wouldn't focus at all. The viewfinder trembled like the device was physically scared. We didn't say anything for a full minute. We didn't need to. Whatever we had gotten into, it was no longer behind a screen. It was here, watching us back. Transition. That was the last time we were all together. After the cafe incident, everything shifted. I don't blame them for what happened next. But that doesn't mean it didn't hurt. Arjun was the first to disappear. One morning, his messages stopped delivering. His profile picture vanished from every platform. When I called, the number was no longer in service. He didn't even leave a final text, just a digital fade out, like he'd been unplugged from our World 1 account at a time. Rishi didn't vanish. He just shut me out. He blocked the group chat, deleted his socials, and sent one last message before going dark. Bro, I can't do this. I'm sorry. I'm done. I wrote back, but the bubble never turned blue. Eventually, it stopped letting me type anything at all. Maybe they thought cutting ties would protect them. Maybe it did. But I noticed something unsettling almost immediately. The notifications didn't stop for me. If anything, they became more focused. Every morning, my phone buzzed with a new message from the system, like an automated update for a game I didn't remember subscribing to. Except these weren't patch notes. They felt like progress reports. About me. Location locked. Activity monitored. Rule interpretation active. One night, a message arrived labeled Stage Priority. Individual. A second later, my screen flickered and refreshed, leaving only a single line. You were chosen first. I didn't understand what that meant. Still don't. But a part of me wondered if this was the reason the others backed away so fast. If they sensed something I didn't. Something aimed specifically at me. Even the small things became unnerving. The pauses when I scrolled. The way certain apps opened on their own. How ads recommended places I had walked past 30 minutes earlier. I tried asking for help online in a private forum. The post uploaded clean, but when I refreshed the page, my text had been replaced by a single phrase, "Stop sharing." And just like that, the post was locked. Every attempt to reach out to old friends, classmates, even strangers, felt intercepted, as if something invisible was filtering who could hear me and who couldn't. Days passed, then a week. Silence from Arjun. Silence from Rishi. Silence from everyone. Except whatever was running this challenge. I still don't know why they targeted me most. Maybe I stayed logged in too long. Maybe I clicked something I shouldn't have. Or maybe, worst of all, I was meant to be the one who kept playing. I'd almost convinced myself the whole thing was slowing down until last night. Transition. Then someone slipped a note under my door. The note slid under my door like it had been waiting for the exact moment I'd stop pacing. No footsteps, no shadow, just the soft scrape of paper against the floorboards. For a solid minute, I stared at it without touching it, half convinced it might move again. When I finally picked it up, the first thing that hit me wasn't the message. It was the handwriting. It was mine. Same slant, same pressure on the downstrokes, same habit of looping the Y too wide. But the words weren't mine, not even close. You're not supposed to talk about it. I read it 10 times, looking for the flaw that would tell me it was a prank. Maybe Rishi had snuck back. Maybe Arjun left it before cutting contact. But the handwriting, no one could copy it that perfectly. Not even me. I tried rewriting the sentence next to it. Same pen, same angle, and it still didn't match. The spacing was too precise, too clean, almost printed. I felt that same pressure in the air again. Like someone had just been here, right behind me, and left moments before I noticed. I checked the apartment even though I knew I wouldn't find anything. Everything was exactly where I left it. No broken locks, no open windows, no signs of anyone entering. But then I noticed the details. My desk chair was pulled out even though I always push it in. My kitchen cabinet was open to the exact shelf where I keep my old notebooks. And my TV remote, normally on the coffee table, was placed neatly on my pillow, angled perfectly toward the door. None of it was damaging. Nothing was stolen. Nothing was touched in a way that suggested malice. It felt like someone had wandered through my life like a museum exhibit, studying everything quietly and putting it back, just not quite right. Psychological graffiti. I checked my computer next. When the screen lit up, a notification blinked in the corner. Draft saved. I hadn't opened a document. I hadn't typed anything. But there it was. A blank page except for a single line typed dead center. Stop before they notice. No sender. No timestamp. Just the words. My chest tightened. Whoever had been here didn't want to hurt me. They wanted to warn me, or silence me, or maybe both. I tried calling Rishi again even though I knew he wouldn't answer. The call failed instantly. Not declined, failed, like my phone refused to make the attempt. Identity, safety, reality, everything felt like it was coming apart thread by thread. And the worst part? I didn't know if the warnings were meant to protect me from the game, or to protect the game from me. Either way, the message was clear. Stop talking. Stop digging. Stop sharing. But I couldn't. Not after everything. Transition. I decided to confront the mystery head-on. I knew digging was a bad idea. Every warning I'd received, every glitch, every misplaced object, told me to walk away. But fear does something strange to you. It makes you want answers more than safety. And after everything that had happened, I needed to know what the Black Index really was. The name wasn't new to me. Months ago, I told a story about an online rumor. Some arcane challenge that resurfaced every few years on different corners of the web. I'd brushed it off as fandom myth, a creepy Easter egg that people exaggerated for clout. But now, as I typed the words into an old search engine, something in my chest tightened, déjà vu mixed with dread. Most results were useless. Copy-pasted creepypastas, meme threads, AI-generated lore. But buried deeper, far beyond page 10, I found the older stuff. The forums I used to read for research. The ones that had been inactive for a decade. One thread caught my eye. Index participants. Read before you log OFF. The first post was just a timestamp from 8 years ago. No username, no avatar, just a message. You don't find the challenge. The challenge finds you. The replies were even stranger. People talking about experiences almost identical to mine. Vanishing messages, personalized clues, cameras glitching, strangers watching from a distance. One user wrote, "They don't follow you to hurt you. They follow you to record you." Another claimed, "Each stage isolates one participant. It's like they're waiting to see whether you break or comply." The deeper I went, the more the tone shifted, from fear to reverence. Some users treated the Black Index like a secret tradition, a digital initiation, a selective path. Not a game, a group, a cult, but organized like a network. Anonymous, distributed everywhere and nowhere at once. No hierarchy, no visible leaders, just the system, an algorithmic oracle deciding who to watch, who to test, and when to escalate. I found one archived post from someone calling themselves the Seventh Window. Index chooses those who stay after the warnings. Curiosity is the real application. Another user claimed they'd completed the final stage. Their account history ended with a short message. "Your identity dissolves. That's the gift." Their profile was deleted a day later. I scrolled until my fingers hurt, absorbing theories from every angle: psychological experiment, government project, rogue AI, digital scavenger hunt engineered by old hackers. But one recurring theme stood out. The index adapts to the participant, personalizes everything, tailors the experience until you feel seen by something impossible. The more I read, the clearer the pattern became. The disappearing accounts, the figure watching us at the cafe, the messages only meant for me. It wasn't random harassment. It wasn't coincidence. It was recruitment. I closed my laptop for a moment, breathing slowly, trying to calm the trembling in my hands. Because the deeper I dug, the more I realized something uncomfortable. I wasn't researching them. They were cataloging me. And if anyone watching this has heard something similar, anything about the Black Index, the system, the seventh window, drop it in the comments. I need to know I'm not the only one seeing this pattern. I should have stopped there. I should have listened to the warnings. Because the moment I reloaded the page, a new message appeared at the top of the screen. Different font, different formatting, no timestamp. Preparation complete. And below it, final stage initiated. Transition. Then the challenge forced the final stage. It started with the lights dimming. Not flickering, not cutting out, just slowly draining until my apartment looked submerged, like the air itself had turned to deep water. At first I thought it was another glitch, another trick from the system, but then my phone lit up on its own. No lock screen, no notifications, just a blank white glow that hurt to look at. I didn't touch it. Across the room, my laptop woke next, humming quietly, screen lifting itself from sleep. The cursor moved without me, tracing slow shapes along the desktop. It wasn't random movement. It felt deliberate, curious, like something was getting comfortable using my hands. A soft buzz came from my TV even though it wasn't on. Not the usual electrical hum. This was rhythmic, almost like breathing. I stepped back without realizing it, spine pressing against the wall. Then my phone vibrated. Once, twice, then non-stop, like it was panicking for me. I picked it up with shaking fingers. No messages, no apps open, but a single sentence scrolled across the screen as though someone were typing it from inside the device itself. Stay where you are. My throat tightened. I whispered, "Why?" The typing stopped, then resumed. Final observation. Before I could react, my speakers crackled. Every one of them at once. Laptop, phone, TV, smart plugs I'd forgotten I even owned. The static rose slowly, like an audience leaning forward. I tried to speak to the camera, to you, because I didn't know who else would hear me. I don't know how much time I have. I don't know if I'll finish this recording. But something is happening. Something they've been preparing for. I swallowed hard. They're here again. A knock echoed from my front door. Not loud, not even threatening. Just the same pattern I heard the first night: 3 taps, pause, 2 taps. Soft enough that if I hadn't been waiting for it, I might have missed it. I stepped toward the door, keeping the phone raised like it mattered, like light could protect me. The hallway outside was completely still. I could feel the weight of someone standing just beyond the frame, not breaking in, not speaking, just waiting. Another knock, 3 taps, pause, 2 taps. My breath shook out of me as I backed away. "Why now?" I whispered. "What do you want?" My laptop chimed behind me. A new window opened. Black page, white text. Complete the index. I shook my head. I didn't agree to anything. The text blinked. "You stayed." The TV buzzed louder. My phone screen dimmed. The entire apartment seemed to lean inward, closing around me. I could hear footsteps in the hallway, slow and careful, like someone pacing inches from the threshold. Not trying to come in, just listening. I pressed the phone closer, voice barely steady. If anyone is watching this, tell me if this has happened to you. Tell me if this is part of the challenge. Just Tell me I'm not the only one. Another knock, this time softer. A whisper of movement. A presence right on the other side of my door. I don't know why, but something in me said not to open it. Not yet. My phone flashed a final message. Do not interfere. The lights dipped lower. The devices fell silent. Even the buzzing stopped. For a heartbeat, everything went still. So still it felt like the world was holding its breath with me. Then, transition. Fade into sudden quiet. The aftermath. They just left. For the first time in weeks, I woke up to nothing. No buzzing phone. No midnight notifications. No final stage messages waiting for me like traps. It was silent. Uncomfortably silent, the kind where you don't trust it. I checked my laptop. Every account connected to the black index was gone. Deleted. Vanished. Wiped clean, as if they had never existed in the first place. Even the usernames, those weird, coded phrases, now redirected to empty pages. I thought maybe it was a glitch, so I texted my friends, the same friends who had blocked me, ghosted me, or disappeared the moment things got strange. To my surprise, they replied. Casual messages, jokes, memes, like nothing had happened. When I asked if they remembered the challenge, the silence came back. Not the scared silence, just the kind people give when you say something completely unfamiliar. They acted like they had no idea what I was talking about. One of them even said, "Dude, you okay? You've been overthinking stuff lately." It almost made me doubt myself. Almost. Because if nothing happened, if it was all in my head, if the black index really never existed, then what about the locked folder on my desktop? The one I definitely didn't create. The one labeled simply, "Open when you're sure." At first I thought it had always been there, but it hadn't. I checked its properties, and that's when my stomach dropped. The file wasn't timestamped for today or yesterday. It was timestamped for tomorrow. No message inside, no instructions, no warnings, just a date that hasn't arrived yet. I don't know if opening it could start everything again or end it for good. So I'm stuck staring at this folder, wondering if someone or something wants me to click it. And honestly, I don't know what I'm supposed to do next. Should I open it? Tell me in the comments. OUTRO. If anything happens, you'll know why. I wasn't planning to record this part. Honestly, after everything that's happened, I thought I'd take a break. Disappear for a bit, let my brain reset. But sitting here, staring at that folder marked "Open when you're sure," I realized something. If I suddenly go silent, if the uploads stop, if my account glitches out like the others did, you should at least know why. So this is me thanking you. Every comment you left, every theory you dropped, every time you said, "Bro, don't open anything weird at 3 a.m. It kept me grounded. It reminded me I wasn't facing this alone, even when my own friends acted like nothing ever happened. You've been more real than half the people in my life this month. I wish I could say this is the end, that the black index is gone for good, that the silence means I'm safe, but that folder timestamped for tomorrow, it doesn't feel like an ending. It feels like a countdown. And just in case something does happen after I upload this, I want you to promise me one thing. Don't stop talking about it. The more people know, the harder it is for whatever this is to hide. If you've got theories, drop them. If you've seen anything similar, tell me. If another challenge, another name, another pattern shows up online, capture it. Screenshot everything. Leave it in the comments. This story might be mine, but the mystery is bigger than me now. And if you're watching this hours, days, or weeks after I posted it, and the channel looks untouched, and this video feels out of place, well, you'll know something happened between now and the timestamp on that folder. Anyway, I'm going to end the recording here. The screen just flickered again. Barely noticeable, like a glitch in the corner. Probably nothing. Probably. If anything happens, you'll know why. End.